So it's no surprise that Near Hub is getting all the attention ever since it's been released. With the 2 extra influence and the extra card draw, it now makes NBN economy very viable and has pushed the default go-to ID, NBN Making News, out of the spotlight. For those of you Americans who missed out on Kronos Protocol, I think you're pretty happy about that. So for everyone else who's asking, so when do I take my NBN Making News out of my box and begin playing it? Well, to be honest, right now there are not that many reasons to play NBN Making News. In fact, I believe most decks would do much better if you played it in your Earth Hub instead and converted the economy to focus more on pet campaigns and mock accounts. That being said, if you really want to show off your NBN Making News alt art card, here's a couple of reasons for you to do so. Firstly, probably the biggest reason is that you want to play around with some of the trace eyes. Most of the trace eyes are actually not very good outside of NBN Making News, simply because the runner can easily pay through most of them. Trace eyes tend to have very weak traces from 0 to 3, and all of these are easily broken by runners. Not to mention runners with 1 link. They just pay through everything, and they might even consider paying through the subroutines every single turn just to be able to run through them without requiring any breakers whatsoever. With NBN Making News, you are taxing these runners every time they attempt to run through these eyes. So this gives you valuable stopping power and make these eyes much more powerful, especially the likes of Draco and Caduceus. Caduceus suddenly becomes a very powerful ice that you can potentially rest for 0 and have reliably stop the run when played in Making News. So yes, it opens up more ice choices, but that's about it. The other reason to play NBN Making News is if you have some sort of powerful effect that you can reliably trigger every turn, allowing you to work those 2 recurring credits over time. There's not much in the way of powerful event-based traces. In fact, there are only 4 operations NBN faction that perform traces, and 2 of them only require you to perform 1 trace, mid-seasons or seesaws. If you can land that first trace by virtue of having a superior economy over the runner, you've really won the game. That can be achieved in Near Earth Hub as well. So this is not a relevant point of discussion. What you want is a trace that you can reliably trigger turn after turn to tax the runner, force them to beat the trace or suffer horrible, nasty downsides. Up to recently, the only means of doing so was restructured data pool, which is incredibly hard to score, and come on, who wants to play a 5-3 agenda in endgame? Let's get real here. So, that has been the case until recently, where in the latest data pack, we got operation in the form of Manhunt. Now, Manhunt can potentially tax the runner every single turn. At the very least, it will deter them from making runs, which is always a good thing as a corp, or force them to pay 2 more credits each run, thanks to your NBN Making News ability. So suddenly, NBN Making News becomes taxing ID, one where your 2 recurring credits go to the taxation of the runner. So that is something to keep in mind when you're building an NBN Making News deck with Manhunt that attempts to tax the runner. You want to keep them poor by using your free money to drain theirs. Hope you found this insightful. Thanks for watching.